We're going to take a test over all things linear relationships tomorrow. If you would like to get a parent signature on your test review and you turn it in tomorrow with your test, then you will receive 5 bonus points on your test. I want to go through the review that you should have done. Keep in mind this is all about slope, constant of proportionality, y equals mx plus b. Which situation best describes the graph shown? So you kind of want to double check your scale. Notice this is counting by ones, but this is counting by 1.5. So you can see 1 is 1.5. I'm just going to make a little table here. 1 is 1.5, and 2 is 3. I do know that this is proportional. It is going through the origin. And this, if we wrote our y-x ratio, our constant of proportionality, it would be 1.5. So we're looking for something about $1.50. So JJ purchased chips for 75 cents a bag? No. Mark buys a pack of gum for $1.50? Maybe. Paula pays 50 cents per ticket? No. Franco purchases flowers for $3 each? No. So you should have chosen B. So make sure you're reading all of those choices. Again, here we have a graph. Remember that constant of proportionality, K equals Y over X. So again, it is proportional. That's the only time we can have the constant of proportionality. And I'm going to look for where this graph crosses a very nice point. So this is 3, 14. So remember, X is 3, Y is 14. So if I'm going to make my ratio, 14 over 3. And you will have your calculator to use should you need that. So remember, we always do new document. No, we're not going to save. Calculator. And we talked about how to make a decimal. If you are going to divide, if you put a decimal in the problem, then it will give you a decimal answer. This one says 4.6 repeating. That's probably fairly close. We've got here 1 is a little bit more than 4, so we can go with that 4.5. That's going to be our closest answer. Okay? That one was hard to read on the graph. A tile backsplash is being installed. The installation fee is $150, and the tile is $275 per square foot. Remember, per is a multiply word. Write the equation. So what do we have? We have 150 plus 275. They want us to use F, it looks like, for feet equals the cost. So looking carefully, this has a minus. This doesn't have a plus or a minus. So look at these two. Notice that it depends on where F is. This is per, so the multiplying needs to be on the 275. Which of the following equations best represents the relationship? So we need a y equals mx plus or minus b here. So you need to find the slope. You need to find the b. The b is easy right here where it crosses the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? There's our b. And then we need to count our slope. So you're looking for where it crosses the graph crosses the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, notice the line is going up. It is a positive slope, which all of these are positive. And we can say 4 over 2 is 2. So I'm looking for y equals 2x plus 4. It has to be A. Make sure you're showing all this work, writing down what you know. Don't just guess. An app developer projects that he will earn $230 for every 100 app downloads. Which of the following equations can be used to represent proportional relationship between the number of apps, X, and the total earnings, Y? So remember, this is going to be Y equals Kx, or y equals mx, the same thing, but we only have one set, so Kx is going to be the way to go. K equals y over x, and y is earnings, and x is apps. So how much earnings did we have? 230 for 100 apps. 230. Don't forget your decimal. divided by 100, 2.3. So y equals 2.3x, which is going to be D. Don't choose C. Notice that one's written backwards. It's always going to be y equals. Based on the information in the table, which equation can be represented? So again, we need the M and we need the B. Notice the B is not listed here, but we can work backwards. So this is plus 5 and this is plus 15. So change in y over change in x. That is 15 over 5, not 5 over 15. And if we go backwards, 0 plus 5 is the 5. So something plus 15 is 40. 25 plus 15 is 40. So my B is 25. Y equals 3x. I'm sorry. Yeah. 3x plus 25. That is not a choice. Plus 5. Oh, I'm sorry, because this is 25. My fault. I apologize. So that changes our slope to a 5. That's also going to change our B value. Hold on. Mrs. Ray had a little brain lapse there. All right, so let's try this again. Change in y is 25 over change in x is 5. So the slope is 5, right? So something plus 25 is 40, so that would be 15. So our y-intercept is 15. Sorry, teachers make mistakes too. So y equals 5x plus 15. So C. Sorry about that. All right, next page. The graph shows the amount of money, the relationship between the money and Sarah's savings account over a period of time. Which of the following is not true? So you're looking for the false answer. Well, what do we know about Sarah here? Well, it is not going through the origin, so this is non-proportional. It has a negative slope. It has a B value of 200. Okay, we could even, so these are all things we noticed. So look, I know that C is wrong. C says it's proportional. All right, make sure you read all of these. After 5 weeks, Sarah has $100 in her account. Well, let's look. Let's use the graph. Here's 5 weeks. Actually, we're looking for the false one. So this is false. This is true. Sarah has a balance of $60 when 7 weeks have passed. All right, here's 7 and 60. That's true. Situation can be represented by 200 minus 20x. Well, let's see. Check your scale. We're going down 20 over 1. So our m is negative 20 over 1. So our equation would be 200 minus 20x. So that is true. Which one is false? C. It is non-proportional. Make sure you read and catch that knot. I almost missed it. Table below shows the relationship between the miles traveled and the number of gallons. Which of the following represents a situation? All right, so we're adding 35 for every one. So you know this is gallons and this is miles based on what it says up here. So our slope is 1 over 35. If we worked backwards to 0, 0 plus 35 is 35. 0 plus 1 is 1. So this is proportional. So we're not going to add or subtract anything. So y equals 1 over 35x, which is B. Don't ever choose things that look like this. That's not going to make sense to us. We'll do that in algebra 1. Which of the following equations best represents this? Notice the slope is going down. This is a negative. You can also see that this is going through the origin. It is proportional. So it cannot be any of these. If it's proportional, there is no B value. This one has to be A, and we can double check it. You can see the graph is going through 1, negative 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. So my slope is negative 3 over 1, which is negative 3. So y equals negative 3x. Which of the following, okay, again, a knot. Let's see if Mrs. Ray can do this correctly. The number of months in a year. I know that there are 12 months in 1 year. So I can look here. 2 years is 24 months. 4 years is 48. This is true. 1 year, 12. Oh, 2 years, 24. Looks like this one is okay. 3 is just above 36. All right, so this is true. Y equals 12x, where x is the number of years and y is the number of months. Okay, there are 96 months in 8 years. Well, if I put 8 in place of 12, 12 times 8 is 96. All right, so let's go back. We don't have to check all of these. All right, 2 times 12, 4 times 12. Oh, wait, 6 times 12 is not 60. 8 times 12 is not 72. So this one became false. We got to make sure we're checking all of them. So this one needs to be B. Just like we were looking here in our table, right? Those were okay. But this says 60, so this should be a 5 compared to the table and the graph. Which one best represents 2.5x? 2.5 inches of water evaporates from the experiment each day. 2 cartons of eggs ring up at the register for $2.50. That's not going to work. So if that's $2.50 over 2. Bank account is opened with a balance of $5 and $2.50 is deposited each day. Well, if you have 5 and that's what you're starting with, then you're going to have a B. So that one's not going to work. 2.5 times as big as his brother Sam. So it's either A or D. Let's go back. Each day, 2.5 inches of water evaporates. Evaporates is a negative word because it's going down. So this one has to be D. All right. 12, which of the following situations is proportional, right? So this 0, 0 starts at 0. Cheeseburger is $7.95 plus. Nope. Pool fills at a rate of 90 gallons per hour. Maybe. Health club charges $40 membership. Plus. Remember, it's going to only be a y equals mx equation. Bank account begins with $3.50 and gains, so this is a plus also. So this one has to be B. Just a few questions left. Which of the following shows the relationship between the number of times a gear can rotate over a period of time? So again, if you want to make a table to kind of see what's happening, we have minutes and we have rotations. 1 minute, 20 rotations. 2 minutes, 40 rotations. So we know, what else do we know? This is proportional. Y equals 20 over 1x. It doesn't have a B value, so we can look. This rotates 30 times at 1.5 minutes. Okay, well, we can go to the graph and look at that. 30 times. So 1.5 minutes is 30 times. That's true. Possibly. And then we have y equals 10x. Well, no, it rotates 20 times every minute. The machine rotates for 15 minutes, then we'll make 350 rotations. Well, let's see. If we have 15 minutes, we have 20 times 15. Oops. We get 300, not 350. The relationship is non-proportional. No, it is proportional. It goes to the origin, so it has to be A. Which of the following tables? So you're going to plug in for F and see what you get. 3 plus 0.5, 5 plus 0.5, 8 plus 0.5. So A is good. 3.5 plus 0.5 is not 3. 3 plus 0.5 is not 1.5. 3 plus 0.5 is not 8. So this one has to be A. And then write an equation to represent Calvin's earnings, number of hours he works. So this is K equals Y over X, 4650 over 3. Use your calculator. 15.5 X equals Y. How much will Calvin earn if he works 21 hours? Okay, plug in what we know. Hours is X. Y equals 15.5 times 21. $325.50. All right. If you have any questions, please send a note in Google Classroom. Have a great evening.